It started with a scream. Not the kind you hear in horror movies. This one came from a perfectly trimmed, suburban lawn, sharp enough to slice through the quiet morning air. "Hey, you don't belong here!" A trembling 14-year-old girl, Lila, froze on the sidewalk, clutching a paper bag full of groceries. Apples rolled across the pavement, one stopping by the polished toe of a woman's shoe. Karen, the self-proclaimed guardian of the neighborhood. Lila's voice cracked. "I'm just delivering these for Mr. Jenkins. He can't walk." Karen's face hardened like concrete. "That's trespassing! Don't you dare make excuses." She whipped out her phone and began recording, narrating to her camera like a reporter uncovering a crime. Behind her, the neighborhood's perfect white fences gleamed under the sun. Curtains twitched as neighbors peeked out, whispering. Lila stood still, heart racing, the weight of humiliation pressing on her small shoulders. But there was something Karen didn't know, something that would flip her entire story upside down. You see, Mr. Jenkins, the man Lila mentioned, wasn't just any neighbor. He was a retired veteran, wheelchair-bound, living alone, and the quiet soul everyone forgot. Every Saturday, Lila would stop by after school, bringing his groceries using the little money she saved from tutoring kids. It wasn't charity, it was kindness, and that morning she was running late. As Lila tried to explain, Karen's voice rose, sharp and cutting. "I'm calling security!" "You think kindness gives you a pass to break HOA rules?" Tears burned in Lila's eyes. She wanted to shout, to tell her she wasn't doing anything wrong, but the words choked in her throat. A few more neighbors gathered, phones out, recording, judging. Then a soft voice broke through the tension. "Lila?" From behind Karen's manicured hedge, Mr. Jenkins wheeled forward, oxygen tube trailing beside him. His voice was weak but steady. "She's with me." Karen froze. The crowd went silent. Lila rushed toward him, kneeling beside his wheelchair. "I'm sorry, Mr. Jenkins. I didn't mean to cause trouble." He patted her hand gently. "You didn't, sweetheart. Sometimes doing the right thing looks wrong to the wrong people." Karen's camera lowered slowly. For the first time, doubt flickered in her eyes. But the damage was already done, because by that evening, the video she posted went viral. By sunset, the quiet neighborhood had become the internet's latest battleground. Karen's video, titled, "Teen Caught Trespassing in Gated Community," had exploded across social media. Within hours, it had hundreds of thousands of views. In the shaky footage, Lila's small, tearful face looked guilty to anyone who didn't know the truth. The caption read, "This is what happens when you let outsiders into private property." The comments were ruthless. "Lock her up. Kids today have no respect. Where are her parents?" Lila didn't even know about the video until she got home. Her phone buzzed non-stop, friends texting, teachers calling, and even her mother's worried voice breaking over the phone. "Lila, what happened? Why is your face all over Facebook?" She felt the world collapsing around her. The girl who used to help everyone was now being painted as a criminal. Meanwhile, just a few doors away, Karen was feeling proud. She paced her spotless living room, sipping coffee as the views skyrocketed. "Finally," she muttered, "someone takes HOA rules seriously." But pride quickly turned to unease, because by the next morning, the internet had started to dig. A local resident had commented under Karen's video, "That girl helps Mr. Jenkins every week. He's disabled. She's a sweetheart." The thread blew up. Neighbors started sharing stories, screenshots of Lila, pushing Jenkins' wheelchair, bringing mail, watering his plants. The narrative began to shift. Karen woke up to a storm she didn't expect. Her inbox was filled with angry messages. "You bullied a child. Shame on you. Take the video down." But instead of deleting it, Karen doubled down. She posted a follow-up clip. "Don't believe the lies. Rules are rules. No one is above HOA policy." Her tone was smug, but fear crept behind her eyes. Because while she tried to control the story, Mr. Jenkins was about to take matters into his own hands. He called the local news station. His raspy voice, full of quiet pain, told the real story. How Lila brought groceries every week. How she helped without asking anything in return. And how the HOA ignored his requests for accessibility improvements. Within hours, his version of the story started trending. Karen's comment section turned from applause to outrage. "Delete the video, Karen. She's just a kid. You owe them both an apology." And that's when Karen's world began to crumble. By the next morning, Karen's pristine world, her perfect lawn, spotless porch, and carefully crafted reputation, was collapsing like a house of cards. News vans lined the street. Cameras flashed as reporters gathered outside her white picket fence, shouting questions she didn't want to answer. "Karen, do you regret posting that video? Did you know the girl was helping a disabled veteran?" She slammed the door, blinds snapping shut. Inside, the once silent house buzzed with the angry hum of notifications. Every social media account she had was drowning in hate comments. Meanwhile, across the street, Lila sat beside Mr. Jenkins on his porch. The morning sun glowed softly on them as reporters recorded their story. Jenkins spoke gently. "She's been helping me for months. No one from the HOA ever did. That girl has more kindness in her little heart than most grown-ups I know." The clip went viral again, but this time in their favor. People called her the Grocery Angel. Hashtags flooded social media. Justice for Lila and Hokerin exposed. The shift was massive. Karen's own neighbors started to turn against her. The HOA president, embarrassed by the public backlash, issued a formal apology to Lila and Mr. Jenkins on live television. Karen wasn't invited to that meeting. Her phone rang nonstop, not with support, but with outrage from local residents and other HOA board members. They wanted her to step down, calling her actions a gross embarrassment to the community. But Karen, still clutching her phone, refused to back down at first. "I was just enforcing rules," she said to herself in the mirror, trying to convince anyone, that she was right. Yet the reflection staring back at her didn't look like a rule enforcer anymore. It looked like a bully. Her friends stopped answering her calls. Her employer, tired of bad publicity, quietly placed her on leave. By evening, the neighborhood she once ruled like a queen had turned its back. People whispered when she walked by. Parents pulled their kids away. The woman who once demanded respect now got only silence. Across the street, laughter echoed from Mr. Jenkins' porch. Lila had brought him soup, and a few of the neighbors had joined them. Karen watched through her blinds, eyes wet, realizing too late what she'd destroyed: trust, kindness, and community, all because she couldn't see beyond her own pride. But that night, something unexpected happened. A knock came at her door, and when she opened it, Lila was standing there. Karen stood frozen in her doorway, disbelief washing over her. The last person she ever expected to see again, Lila, stood on her porch, holding a small paper bag, the same kind of bag she had dropped the day everything went wrong. For a moment, neither spoke. The cool evening breeze carried only the distant hum of crickets and the muffled chatter of neighbors still gossiping about her downfall. Finally, Lila broke the silence. Her voice was soft but steady. "I brought you something." Karen frowned, confused. Lila held out the bag. Inside were groceries: milk, bread, fruit, simple things. "Mr. Jenkins told me you haven't been going out much," she said quietly. "He thought maybe you could use some help." Karen's throat tightened. "Why would you do that? After what I did?" Lila shrugged slightly, eyes glistening. "Because Mr. Jenkins says kindness isn't about who deserves it. It's about who needs it." Those words hit harder than any online backlash ever could. Karen's composure cracked. Tears finally spilled down her face. I was wrong, Lila. I thought I was protecting the neighborhood, but I was just protecting my pride." Lila nodded gently. "It's okay to admit it. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is what you do next." Karen stepped aside. "Would you like to come in?" Lila hesitated but nodded. Inside, the house felt colder than before, spotless but empty. Karen sat across from her, hands trembling as she spoke. "I wanted everything perfect. The lawns, the fences, the people. I thought that was what made a good neighborhood. But now I see, it's people like you who actually make it good." She reached for her phone. "I'm going to delete that video, and I'll post something else instead." Moments later, she recorded a new clip, her voice shaky, eyes red from tears. "My name is Karen Miller. I accused a young girl of something she didn't do. I judged her without understanding her heart. I'm sorry, Lila, and I'm sorry to everyone who believed me." She uploaded it. The internet watched again, but this time, not to attack. The apology spread fast. Some mocked it, but most people saw something rare: humility. The next morning, Karen stepped outside for the first time in days. The neighbors didn't turn away this time. Some nodded politely. One even smiled. Across the street, Lila and Mr. Jenkins waved. Karen waved back, the faintest smile tugging at her lips. For the first time, she realized, rules didn't build a community. Compassion did. And sometimes the strongest fences were the ones we built around our own hearts. Stories like this remind us how powerful kindness can be, even when it's misunderstood. If you felt something while watching, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Your support helps us tell more real stories that deserve to be heard.